Howdy. Let's have a look at some time-lapse videos I made. We are basically watching at this cloud here, and you can see here is already there is a little dark patch and it extends all the way over here. But now let's just have a look at this. And obviously you can see somehow the cloud moving into two directions at the same time. And also you can see a cloud appearing here to the left. There is nothing here on the left. The sun isn't shining anymore, obviously, you can see. And as we go on, you can see here is a cloud appearing. These are moving into the right direction and these are moving into the left direction. Maybe north and south. And for a brief moment, we can see something here appearing as well. So now let's just have a look at the whole time lapse until the end. Because after a while there is nothing really much going on anymore until there is again something going on. Now we don't see much anymore. And we have some activity going on here. And then again here, which is approximately the same place where we had this other already in the beginning. So then we have a look at this one. There's a bunch of time-lapse pictures I took. I want to point out that there is nothing beneath that. So, I don't know. Where's the water? Where's the supposed water that is rising from the surface? You don't see anything. There's just energy going up into the sky, and after a certain degree or a certain height, it starts to transform into plasma. It gets visible. And there is very interesting activity. You can see this is rising up and then it turns in a way back down. And as this goes back down, we can see this cloud emerging here. It is in a way emerging out of this one. As well as we do have here this one little small cloud that grows rapidly in size as we go forward. Yeah, it's basically out of nowhere, and it also has this flat surface. Yeah, let's just have a look at this as well. It's a pity that we have this thing on the button that only gets away after a while. So obviously Earth is discharging because there is energy going up. Was there a plane? I cannot zoom in. That's a pity. Anyway. That's just beautiful. We can see many lines, perpendicularity. Also some very fine structures within the clouds. If we would enhance the contrast and stuff like that, that would be probably quite an amazing looking sky. You can see the cellular structure of the plasma. You can see the lines that connect and also define boundaries. Some clouds are rising here up in the background. And we can see once again the lines. And if you have the eyes to see, you can see how they are. There are also those perpendicular lines to them. That's one of my favorite because we can see the meeting of the dark and the white cloud. Yeah, you can see how the clouds are forming. They are just, that's the beginning of the screenshot because I noticed that. And it's not in focus because I was still practicing back when I did this. Now I maybe figured out a few things how to make time lapses with this other device in order to get these things rather sharp. So that's the beginning of the time lapse. I noticed how this was developing. And you can see how this connection also strengthens. And as this connection strengthens, that is obviously connected to this bigger cloud, this strengthens as well. And then I realized that there is something coming from the other side as well, so I have to, that's what we were just looking at. And then I realized this and this one. That's amazing. Yeah, so the camera didn't really know how to adjust the lighting situation. Maybe it was confused about what's going on with the clouds. Why do we have gray clouds and why do we have white clouds? What's the thing about that? And from the left side, obviously, we can see the rain coming in. Maybe the darker clouds are the lower ones and the white are the higher ones. I don't know. And these, I think most of them I have never been able to show because I am not an IT nerd. I have no idea how to use a computer. Now I maybe finally managed to show you a few things. It's a pity that I really can't show because there's this, that thing is coming up here. And I don't know how to zoom. Yeah, we have a mosquito here, photo bombing. But you can see there's a layer in the at the lower side from where the water penetrates down, and that's the same thing. The water gets pulled down from the heavens as it gets pulled up into the heavens. And there are just many clouds appearing and disappearing and reappearing. And we can see waves forming, and there's like waves of energy going through the layers of the atmosphere. We have rain that doesn't really fall to the ground. See that? It's just, it stays up in the heavens. It's not really raining. Ah, yeah. And then it just dissipates. Here we can see how Earth is discharging, how it's just pumping the energy up into the atmosphere. And we can see some layering going on as it transfers through the layers of the atmosphere. But obviously, the potential of the atmosphere at that time wasn't too strong, so we didn't have really the layering going on. And now we are looking at some night plasma. Ah, yeah, that's actually this one. Here we can see the flickering auroras. That's something really, really, really interesting. I haven't heard about flickering auroras ever. And you can see that this is really not in focus. But that's wild activity here. Whoa. Let's go to the beginning and see if we can get rid out of this thing at the bottom. Yeah, now it's good. Yeah, that's something really. I don't think this is any camera malfunction or anything like this. This is very wild auroral activity. Because in the same picture or same video, we can observe here on the right side normal, let's say normal auroral activity, and here on the left, which is one thing, there is something very wild going on. That's amazing. What's wrong with this area? Check this out. This is very fast auroral movement. That's really flickering. I was interested about this area, but that's stealing the whole show. That's crazy. What? Look at that. At some parts, it is expands up here. Maybe you can see it here. I don't know what to say about that, except that it's very interesting. I think we have some more auroral videos. I have probably shown them once, but yeah, this is funny to watch sideways. So we don't watch this. Let's just look at daytime plasma. Yeah, that's just a huge blob of energy going through the sky in unison, basically. And it maintains a certain kind of structure. You can see many different kinds of repetitive patterns, waves, lines, and stuff like that. Yeah. But it's a pity that I haven't figured out how to zoom in these. Or increase the contrast. Maybe one day I figure out. Until then, you just have to bear with me. Yeah, I am not a nerd. Definitely not. Here you can see it making connection to that. And now we can see once again the repetitive patterns, the lines, the squares, the triangles. Are the lines also visible in these clouds back there? Now, as you get more structure, seems to be more energy also in the sky. Now it seems that the theta potential rose because we could see the lower part of the clouds very well. And I think it's about the theta potential of the surface of the Earth that makes them very well visible or not. And these are very high clouds. Some would call them probably jet streams or something. And you can see that the lower side here we have the very distinct boundary. This might be also rotating structures within the sky as they are moving forward. And this is one of those time lapse that probably should be enhanced. There's a little small dragon going down there. But I cannot zoom in, so I leave it. Maybe I've seen this already. Yeah, it's just amazing to watch how they are morphing. For example, this one here. One of the first things we maybe notice is that there's some cloud here and here emerging that is related to this cloud here. This cloud here, and now it gets stronger, and because they are in a way side by side, we might have to think about a double helix structure. And now we can see some ripples appearing here, and there are ripples here, and they are connecting very soon. Now we can see the first connections establishing. As you go a little bit on, they are easier, and now everybody can see. And I think that's also a very interesting thing to mention, that there's like the thing in the middle. I don't know what it is, but there must be something to that as well. I think we saw this already. In this time lapse, I hope to somehow capture some rain that is going here to the ground. That's rather heavily zoomed in. That's looking into the direction of Outokumpu. Now we can see the rain there falling. I wish to capture it better, that there would have been more contrast, stuff like that, but there wasn't enough light, I guess. That's in the same direction. And you can see how the clouds are not really rising. There's like, there are peaks, they're trying, there's like little things that try to reach through the layer. And after a while, if there's like more energy, now you can see there's all of a sudden above this layer, we have these. They didn't really manage to get through, but there is something that managed. See that? They are rising above these clouds. There is nothing in between, really. And yet, they are accelerating rather fast upwards. And we have also maybe to have to think that there's somewhere at the ground level, there's something that creates this cloud because obviously there's energy going up on a rather stationary place. And now still the last one, this we just watch. I won't say anything. That's just a very cool one. Yeah, the rain eventually will reach my location. All right, that's one of the first videos I ever made with a computer. Finally managed to show you some of my time lapses. Yeah, there would be so much about them to talk and stuff like that. But anyway, I think I'll leave it here. Thanks. Bye. Let's put this off.